I'm Hungarian on both sides of my family. And my grandmother, we did Sunday dinners all the time in Chicago. And one of the things that she made was Hungarian Goulash, or when you did chicken, it was chicken paprikash. Now, I'm doing kind of a version of the goulash with the chicken just because I don't eat red meat. And but this is something, God, we did from as early as I can remember, the 60s through the 80s, when my grandparents moved down to Florida. And my grandmother always cooked for large groups. She cooked for a number of children when she was younger, as a newly married woman, big families, friends. There was always people over at my grandmother's house and my grandfather's house. They were very social people. And this, if you had moderate means, was a way to feed a lot of people for not a lot of money. My grandmother could make a dime stretch till it screamed. She really could. After my grandparents died, my mother and her sister were able to look at their finances and realized there was times when there was not much money in the bank, but they never knew it. My grandparents and my mother always dressed well, always had food, and she just knew how to manage her money. And I think this came out of my grandmother's mother died when she was 9. She was put into foster care. All the children were, and there was a lot of deprivation, and she just learned how to get along with very little. One of the other things that I remember about this, and actually my mother still to this day does the same thing, we're Hungarian, we cook with paprika all the time. And lots of paprika. Almost every dish that I can remember of my grandmother's was somewhat an orange red. I laugh that mine end up being very beige nowadays, but that's because I'm not nearly as good a cook as she is.